There are ghost stories, and then there are patterns that repeat across decades, continents, and cultures, patterns that follow the same structure, the same appearance, the same final moments. For over a century, a singular figure has appeared in abandoned roads, forest paths, and coastal cliffsides. A woman in white, barefoot, drenched, face obscured. Locals call her many things, but investigators refer to her by one name only, the White Lady. Tonight, we re-examine one of the most disturbing clusters of sightings in modern history, a series of disappearances that occurred along a 9-kilometer stretch of road in the Pacific Northwest. This is the Blue Hollow case file. Roll the footage. The Blue Hollow region of Washington state is known for its misty forests, steep ravines, and near-permanent fog. Between 1998 and 2021, 7 people vanished along Highway 45, all under similar circumstances. 4 separate witnesses, none of whom knew each other, described seeing the same woman shortly before the disappearances occurred. Same dress, same soaked hair, same pale skin, and the same chilling detail. She never walks, she glides. For years, local police dismissed the stories as superstition, a product of isolation and fear. That changed in October 2021, when dashcam footage from a missing hiker's abandoned truck forced the case open once again. Blue Hollow wasn't always abandoned. In the early 1900s, it was a thriving mining town. Coal, iron, copper, the kind of place where men worked 16-hour shifts and families lived in cramped wood cabins. But in 1912, tragedy struck. A tunnel collapse buried 34 workers, many of whom were never recovered. The mine shut down. The town emptied within months. By 1920, Blue Hollow was a ghost town. It wasn't long before the first stories emerged. Journal entries from 1924 mention a woman in a wet white dress wandering the cliffs after dusk. In 1951, a bus driver swore he saw a pale woman floating above the road. In 1978, a forest ranger reported a figure standing still in the fog, hands limp, hair covering her entire face. Different decades, different witnesses, same description. The modern cluster of disappearances began with Case 01. Chris Marriott, a 32-year-old mechanic who vanished on December 14, 1998. Marriott's truck was found idling at the edge of Highway 45. Driver's door open. Headlights pointed into the fog on the road beside the truck. Investigators found a set of footprints leading away, but halfway across the asphalt, the prints simply stopped, like the person had been lifted off the ground. Marriott's wife reported that he called her 30 minutes before disappearing. According to her, Chris said he saw a woman standing in the middle of the road, but when he got closer, she wasn't there anymore. Marriott was never found. His case would have remained a solitary tragedy, if not for what came next. In August 2005, a pair of hikers discovered an old handheld recorder inside an abandoned ranger station near Highway 45. The device belonged to Deputy Alan Rowe, a local officer who went missing in 1999. The recorder held 3 audio logs. The following is a reconstruction of their contents. Audio log 1, April 17, 1999. Rowe said, responding to reports of a woman screaming near mile marker 6. Fog is extremely thick tonight. Visibility 5 feet, maybe less. He pauses, then adds, something's off. The air feels heavy. Audio log 2, April 17, 1999, 2:13 a.m. Rowe said, I saw her, a woman standing at the tree line, white dress, soaked, bare feet. When I called out, she didn't respond. Static. Then, she turned her head toward me, but her body didn't move. I'm heading back to the car. Audio log 3, April 17, 1999, 2:17 a.m. Rowe's voice is shaking. Rowe said, she's behind me. I don't know how she got there. I didn't hear footsteps. She's closer now. I can see her face. Heavy static. A soft humming noise. Then silence. Deputy Rowe's body was never located. Only one person has ever reported seeing the white lady and surviving. Case 04. Lisa Calder, a biologist who accidentally hit a deer on Highway 45 in October 2011. Calder's interview is one of the most unnerving testimonies in the file. Calder said, "I was calling roadside assistance when I saw someone standing beyond the hood of my car. A woman, thin, completely drenched. Her dress was so wet it was stuck to her skin." Calder paused in the interview, visibly shaking. "She didn't walk toward me. One moment she was far. Then she was inches from the passenger window. Her hair slid across the glass. I couldn't see her face." Investigators asked her what happened next. Calder said, "She whispered something." When asked what, Calder froze for several seconds before answering, "Not a language I know, but I felt it, like cold breath inside my ears." Calder left town 3 days later and has refused all follow-up interviews. On October 5, 2021. A missing hiker's truck was found deep inside Blue Hollow. The dashcam was still recording. The footage was 47 seconds long. IT showed the interior of the truck, empty, and the fog-covered road ahead. AT first, nothing moved. Then she appeared. A faint, white shape drifting out of the mist. Her dress was torn, soaked, clinging to her form. Her hair hung down in thick, wet strands. She did not walk, she floated about 20 feet from the vehicle. She stopped, her head lowered, her shoulders slumped. Her arms hung limply at her sides. Then, frame by frame, her head began to lift, unnaturally slow, as though being pulled upward by invisible threads. When her face became visible, the footage warped, distorted, almost like the camera itself was recoiling. Her eyes were hollow, her mouth slightly open. Her expression frozen in a silent scream. The truck engine revved loudly without anyone inside pressing the pedal. The footage ended abruptly when the camera was engulfed by static. The hiker who owned the vehicle was never located. Over the years, investigators have proposed numerous theories. 1. The grief echo theory. Some researchers suggest the white lady is an emotional imprint created by the 1912 mining disaster, a manifestation of unresolved trauma. 2. The liminal entity theory. Others believe she is a non-human presence that mimics human form to lure victims. 3. The guardian theory. A few locals argue she is a protector, warning travelers of unseen dangers. But these theories crumble when compared to the physical evidence. No footprints. No fingerprints. No human remains. Just missing people and the same exact description. Every single time. When investigators mapped the 7 disappearances, a disturbing pattern emerged. Every vanishing occurred within a 300-meter radius of the collapsed mine shaft from 1912. And every witness saw the white lady facing toward the old mine entrance, as if drawn back to the place where the tragedy began. The most chilling detail. In the 1912 mining records, one worker's body was never listed among the recovered or missing miners. A woman named Eliza Harthorne, age 29, reported wearing a white working dress on the day she died. Her cause of death was never officially recorded. Today, Highway 45 is closed after dusk. The Blue Hollow mines are sealed. The forest is fenced off, but residents still report seeing a pale figure drifting between the trees when the fog rolls in. Several describe hearing a faint melody, a woman humming just beyond the tree line. Investigators cannot explain the vanishings. They cannot confirm the identity of the apparition. They cannot locate any of the 7 missing individuals. But one thing remains consistent: where the white lady appears, disappearances follow. And as long as the fog continues to settle over Blue Hollow, the legend lives on, waiting, watching, and searching for the next traveler who strays too close to her path. If you ever drive along an empty forest road and see a woman in a soaked white dress standing motionless in the fog, whatever you do, don't stop. Don't call out, and don't look at her face, because if you do, you may become the next name in the blue hollow case file.